I've just made Nuisance take a picture of me drinking a milky coffee for AHDB Dairy, a campaign about milk. The irony that she isn't a milking dairy, you know, cow, she's a beef cow, isn't lost on me, and that's the bit that I find funny. So when you see the advert, you'll also know that Nuisance is not a dairy cow. So, for those of you who don't know why we tip silage on the floor, people are genuinely intrigued. It's very noisy. So for anyone who doesn't know, our Keenan is a right-hand feed-out Keenan. So that means the PTO runs all the way along to the back of the machine, and the workings are on the back, like so. Why this interests people, I will never know, but still. So if you put a big block of silage in it, it is prone to a shear bolt, like badly. So what we do is we take a block of silage, dump it on the floor, fluff it up, and then put it in. Makes it a slightly longer job, but to us it's just easier than just keep having to change shear bolts and Kevlar on your back underneath and stuff. So yeah, that's why we do that, if anyone was wondering. I know I do get a few comments saying, why do you do that? Well, that's why we do that. Now you know. And it's funny, you know, the difference between the adults and the kids. The young lads will just come out with a question and be like, why do you do that? Whereas the adults will just keep wondering and say nothing, which I find really interesting. We should all be more like them kids, we really should. So me and Ray are mucking out the minis and the one naughty one that can get out the barriers over there. And the poorly calf is still very poorly. Is Sparko, completely flat out. I'm not showing you. But he's eating, really eating. And when you sit him up, he eats and drinks and he seems quite happy. So I am going to I'm going to the vets. Morally, I should probably kill him, but I'm going to the vets and I'm going to get some vitamins to see if that cures the problem. If you don't understand farming and you don't like the brutality of farming, fast forward this bit. So if he dies, get back. If he dies, I'll send him for a PM and see what the crack is. Guys, stop being naughty, get back. Just to see what the crack is, to make sure that it happens to nothing else. So he's been tested for worms, he's been tested for fluke, he's been tested for all sorts of, and anyway, there's nothing they can find wrong with him. So we've got to give him some vitamins. I'm gonna go and pick them up. It's Saturday, so she's at home on call, so I'm gonna go to her house and pick these vitamins up because she's got them in the car, bring them back. I'm gonna inject him, and then I will keep you posted on updates on baby calf that is in front of me and isn't very promising. So we've just been to the vets, and these are 3 different vitamins, and they're all in the muscle. So hopefully we'll make a bit of an improvement here. Okay, so he's had 3 in the back end, in the muscle. Let's just hope for a miracle. Does everyone just want to look at how beautiful Nielsen's is? She's gorgeous. So my calf's still alive, sat up eating. You've got straw in your eye, hold on. I can't get it out, it's still, ew. I don't know. So we're gonna get bloods taken from all the rest to check that they're not lacking in anything, just in case. I don't know. Everything deserves a chance though, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Really? Is that tasty, little popinjay? Yes, very tasty. He's still eating. So we're giving him Big Roy's some higher protein, like horsey stuff, instead of our Applebee flake, which is slightly less like potent. So yeah, he's chomping away on that. I'm wrapping him up in, oh my God, I'm so pathetic. I'm wrapping him up in straw to keep him warm because obviously he's not moving a lot. Anyway, see if the vitamins do any good. He looks bright. He's just off his legs. I don't understand. The answer's on a postcard, guys. Ooh, nice. That is, oh my God, it smells so good. smell it? It reminds you of what like summer smells like, doesn't it? That is so nice. We just said we're trying to work out why this haylage came out so good. It was boiling weather, and I mean boiling weather. Like, it was, what was it, like 35 degrees or something. It was crazy. Someone should make a perfume, like grass perfume. Lovely. So this product has actually saved my bacon pretty much a few times, and I don't mind telling you why. So years ago, I know I've told this story on TikTok, so for those of you who've already heard it, please feel free to scroll on. But years ago, I was in charge of tubing calves. Just shove it down and hope for the best. That's how it was. And I know a lot of farmers that actually still do that. So I shoved it down, and I thought it was in the right hole. And I tubed the calf, and it wasn't. It was in the wrong hole, so I killed the calf. It was absolutely, honestly, it was god awful. Roy's brother was there. Roy's brother's partner and her 2 children at the time. My 2 children, Roy's dad, Roy, and I killed this calf in front of everyone. Very dramatic. It was just pretty. It was a pretty dire experience, to be honest. One that I won't forget. So for a long time after that, I didn't tube calves. I refused point blank to do it. So I rang the vets and I said, this is after me and Roy having a massive fallout. I rang the vets and I said, what have I done wrong, and what could I do to possibly make sure that this doesn't happen again? And their answer was know how to tube a calf, for one, which I didn't do. I just made it up like I do everything else. So what you do is you feel here, can you see this? On the calf, you will feel it's near enough identical. Your windpipe is rock solid, like literally hard. You can feel it there. So behind that is your esophagus, and that is soft, it's muscular. So if I were to put a tube down my throat now and it went down my airway, I wouldn't be able to feel it. Whereas if I put a tube down my throat now and it went down my esophagus, which is the correct hole that your tube is meant to go down to pass liquid through, I would be able to feel it. So what I do is I grab a hold of the calf's neck like this. Obviously it's a lot bigger. I squeeze it really tightly, and then when the tube passes through my fingers, I know it's in the right hole. That's how I know. There's no listening. There's none of this like, oh, you know, you can hear it gurgling. No, there's no guesswork. If it passes your fingers, it's in the right hole. So since then, I was using one of those little throwaway bags, you know, that you can get. I wish there'll be one lying around somewhere from years ago. I'll probably use it to unblock a drain now. They actually say on them, this is a one-use bag. And Roy knows, he'd been to the vets once in Penrith, not our vets, one in Penrith, and there was a girl there doing an operation on a calf, and she was pulling the tube out because some guy had had a tube snap, and he'd taped it up with gaffer tape to use it on a calf, and it had snapped in its throat. So this is a really, it shouldn't be, but it's a really common thing that people are just doing, and it's just no. So our friend Thomas came, and I told him this terrible story of what I'd done and how gutted I was and all the rest of it. And he said, get one of them Speedi feeders. And I was like, what? I've never heard of one. And he was like, no, seriously, the man I work for will only tube a calf. He wouldn't do anything else, but he would tube a calf with these Speedi feeders. And we thought, oh, well, if he'll do it, then obviously that's what we're meant to do. So we got one of these Speedi feeders. It looks like this. So you pass the green bit, all of it together down the calf's throat, up until there, like that, and then you thread that through. Literally life-changing, not even joking. There's a little bit for you to hold on to whilst you're holding onto the tube like this, so it doesn't fall back out. It has weights on it, how far you're meant to go in. It just takes all the guesswork out of stuff. So this company also do a range of other things, which I have. We have things like colostrum bags. Obviously, these are well used. They are reusable. You basically get colostrum, put it in it, and you can't see it, hold on. You get colostrum, you put it in it, and it flat packs in your freezer. And because there is a bigger surface area than a carrier bag, when you put it in the sink to defrost, it defrosts faster. I have been known to defrost one of these in less than half an hour, which is just, it's just crazy. So that also fits on to one of these. So you can fit that onto there and you can tube the calf directly with a colostrum bag, so you don't need to swap it into any other vessel to take it to the calf. So they do two sizes of tubes. They do the big tube and they do the small tube. You can just see, hold on, there is just a slight size difference in these. I prefer the purple one. I know, I don't know why, I just prefer the purple one. So I use that quite a lot. Unless it's a bigger animal like the one I'm going to tube today, I will use the purple one. They also do a range of colostrum bags for sheep, horses, etc. Little ones that I've actually never used, but to be honest, I might actually use them for the sheep this year. They do some refractometers, so you can check the quality of your colostrum. They do calf jackets. They also do, which I know are in Jeff Tunt's near us. I've seen them. If any of you are local and you're watching this, they also do lamb tubies, which are bloody handy. I must say, I do find the lamb ones fairly bulky if you've got a tiny lamb. I have been known to use the syringe ones still, just because the syringe on the tube on the syringe one that you get from the vets is very much, it doesn't have that little ball on the end. It's very much smooth, so I have been known to still use that, but I do use this an awful lot. And it's really handy because if you hold it like this, which is really good, it doesn't let the milk out, and then as soon as you let that go and lift this up, the milk starts flowing. It's just a really well thought out design, and I like the products a lot. Like, I have always gone on about them on TikTok and stuff, and I know a lot of people who didn't know how to tube calves now do know how to tube them, and they also invested in these products, which gave them confidence to do it. And I do believe that animal lives will have been saved by them hearing about these products. Seriously, like, I really do rate them. I tell everyone about them. So what I'm going to do is, I have my electrolytes for my calf. I'm going to go back to Rosedad's house where the calf is, and I'm going to tube it with electrolytes, and I'll show you the process of doing it. And I hope that someone somewhere, even if one person who was just like me and made it up, learned something from it. And you know, if that happens, then it's worth me making a tit of myself, telling you the story of me doing something wrong so you can learn from it. I wouldn't want it to happen to anybody else, because if you've done it, which you will have done, some of you will have done this, it's not a nice experience, is it? You know, you go out of your way to try and save these animals, and then you try and save it and you actually end up unaliving it yourself, which is just lots and lots of tears, I'll tell you. Anywho, right, I'm going to go back. I'll take these with me and I'll show you what I do. So I've put 2 litres of water in for the calf, and I've tipped my electrolytes into here. This is quite hot, so I'm hoping by the time I get there it'll cool down. So this is a handy little carrying thing for it. So you just walk around with it like this. What are they doing? Oh, to be young, that's really cute. Right, I need to find Roy, then I can go and tube his calf. So you can see here, I'm just going to do a quick voiceover because these cows are mooing. I am going to very gently, and I mean gently, put the tube in the calf's mouth, wait for it to swallow. There you go. There's no forcing, there's no brutality going on here. There you can see me feeling for it going down its throat, and when I'm happy that it's past my fingers, I lift it up, and then I'll unpause this for a second so you can hear the noise of it going down. So when you hear this noise, it goes, you know, the liquid is going down, right? So the calf's quite happy, and there we go. That is how easy it is and how gentle it should be. How are we feeling? So let's get away from me. So as you can see, I tubed the calf. It wasn't dramatic. It didn't hurt him in any way, and that's what you're aiming for. He now has had electrolytes. He'll need them, I'd say, twice a day even, just to keep him happy. He had a bit of a silagey, ruminy kind of smell. Like a cow burp kind of smell. That's intriguing me a little bit, to be fair. I might just have a look up and maybe ring I'll have a look up on the internet tonight and I'll ring the vets tomorrow and just tell them of that little bit of snippet of information, because it could be important. I don't know. Is it some kind of stomach issue that he's gone off his legs? I don't know. But yeah, when I put the tube in, I could smell like cow fat, cow burp. You know what I mean? Maybe nothing, but maybe something. I don't know. You can only try, can't you? So I did something really interesting and different for us last night, actually. When we were on the tractor run, we got speaking to a man called Andrew Ward, who lives down in Lincoln. He also does YouTube, a bit of YouTube, very educational. It's all about arable farming and going around sugar beet factories, that kind of thing. Anywho, Roy saw actually on his Twitter last night, he was looking for some crop, because he has a charity called Forage, which we have been on the receiving end of. Charity. We have flooded several times, and one of those, two of those were completely life-changing. So we understand the need for people to give, and we also, we understand how humbling it is to receive. So I think it's a charity that's pretty under-supported for what it is, because if you were desperate, to feed your animals, and it was a choice between getting rid of them and, and you're dealing with some kind of natural disaster at the same time, like, I still look like a robber. I'm thinking I'm quite robberish right now. Anyway, I'm gonna go home and make some tea. I'm happier now that's been done. I didn't want to leave it until tomorrow to put some more electrolytes into him. He needed them tonight and I'd forgotten them before, you see. So thank you for watching. As ever, I will stick a link below for the tubey feeder, because I think that if you are farming, they are well worth having. Yeah, they're not cheap. I will say that. Yeah, they're not cheap, but I'm not being funny. It is saving a calf worth spending the money that you'd spend on one round of drinks at the pub. Yes it is, every time. So I think people should probably help themselves and get one, because it was invaluable to me and it gave me the confidence to tube calves again. And I hope as well, talking about how the vets told me to tube calves instead of doing that whole listening to the bag thing to know whether you're in the right hole, I hope that helps somebody as well. So yeah, if you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. I feel that's compulsory to say on YouTube, even though I don't think it makes a bit of difference to whether or not people will like and subscribe to your videos. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you not tomorrow, the day after.